With Laymoon.com. Refresh your career with jobs, courses, and events.
Dubai is such an exciting place because there's so many people like yourself who actually are self-made individuals who've kind of risen up. The city itself has risen up like right out of the sand, as they say. And I just can't understand why someone would not be excited just driving down Sheikh Zayed Road, and you can see all the success stories right there on the road.
Yeah. I have to say that the one thing about Dubai, it gives everyone an equal chance. It doesn't matter where you come from. You know, it doesn't matter how you speak. I mean, I still have a fairly distinctive London accent. Back in the city of London, that was a bit of a problem, actually, and you had to overcome that. But really, it's been amazing. My experience here, it has been truly amazing. And I came for 3 months, Shane. I was only meant to be here for 3 months. I was asked by the CEO of Standard Bank to come over and, if you like, get the show on the road and see what I could do. I managed to get the license through the Central Bank of the UAE. We opened our doors, I think, in April 1997. And I had no intention of staying. I really hadn't been an expat. I'd spent a couple of years working in New York, and I'd spent some time working in Hong Kong. But I had no aspirations to come here. It was more, I think you used the word serendipity, and that's exactly what it was. But it was amazing. 2 weeks into the job here, I managed to pull off a transaction, walking through the Gold Souk, a client of mine who, if he's listening, he'll know that he was very active in gold and also is a very active investor. And at the time, Standard Bank had, we had an investment fund. It focused on high-yield currencies in South America. It's actually very good names and so on and so forth. Bottom line of that, I managed to pull off this deal that generated $200,000 of revenue for the bank after 2 weeks. Now, if I remember correctly, our revenue budget for year one was $200,000. So after 2 weeks, we were into kind of bonus territory, and then I never looked back. And
that was your first. That was basically, I think, the guys went on lunch and left you in charge of the desk.
No, that was back. No, that was
Montague.
Samuel Montague. Really true story. It's massive. I mean, it was fantastic that Montague was one of the names. Today it's HSBC. So the HSBC precious metals business really came from Samuel Montague. Back in those days, I was number 3 gold trader, didn't really know how to pick up a telephone. And the 2 senior guys went off and said, "Okay, Jeff, we'll leave you to it." And we had
Are you just shaking in your boots at this point? You're like,
no, not really. Not really. I've never really had fear. I've always had this kind of certain confidence in myself that I could do whatever anyone else could do. So there I was, thinking, well, what do I do? And this massive client called up and said, "Jeff," so he said, I answered the phone, Montague, and he said, "Who are you?" I said, "Well, my name's Jeff." I said, "Who are you?" He said, "I'm Mr. Hensler to you." I said, "Okay." He said, "What do you know about gold?" I said, "Not much, but can I help you?" And he said, "Well, I want you to buy me 20 bars of gold." Now, that was 8,000 ounces, and gold was, if I remember correctly, around about $300 an ounce. But anyway, he said, "Can you go and buy me 20 bars of gold?" So I thought, okay. So I said to the guys around the desk, "I've got to buy 20 bars of gold. What do I do?" They said, "Well, we'll call up and get prices and you buy." I said, "Okay." I said, "Is this guy important?" He said, "Yeah, he's the most influential person in the gold market." I said, "Okay." So we should buy 30 bars then. And so we bought 30 bars, gave 20 bars to the client. He said, "Oh, very good." We reported back. He said, "Now buy me another 20 bars." So we did, except we bought 10 for ourselves as well. By the time my bosses come back, we had half a ton of gold long, and we were about $200,000, $300,000 in the money, honestly. And they looked at me and said, "Okay, you'll do." And they kind of the rest is history. And I look back on those days, and I had no fear. Really, I had no fear.
I think we have a caller here. Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Welcome to Ion Careers.
Thank you so much. In fact, the call is not regarding Jeffrey, but this call is for you, Shane.
Oh, for me. Okay. Oh, my God. Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you so much.
Well, that goes for you, Shane, and just want to call in and tell you today is the perfect day to tell you that you've been a wonderful boss, friend, colleague,
Oh, it's nice.
supporter, and a leader, and a guide. And may you get the best of everything in life. I wish you a very happy birthday and the best of yet another great year in your professional and personal life. This is Nigel signing off. A big hi out there to Jeffrey as well.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Nigel. It's a surprise. Thank you. Bye. Okay, well, we're coming back with this amazing story of Jeffrey Rhodes, the man who's the man of gold, Goldfinger.
Eye on Careers in association with Laymoon.com. Refresh your career with jobs, courses, and events.
Welcome back to Eye on Careers.
Goldfinger.
We're here with Jeffrey Rhodes,
The man with the Midas touch.
one of the leading gold bullion traders in the world, also known as Goldfinger. Jeffrey Rhodes, welcome to Eye on Careers. Welcome back.
You know, Shane, I'm never going to survive this show. Really.
I love it. So, yeah, well, the people are calling in now, and I guess a lot of people are asking questions. Do we have the caller on the line? Oh, we have a caller on the line here. Hello?
I'm there. Hi.
Is this Maria?
No, it's Sultan.
Oh, Suzanne, welcome to Eye on Careers. I believe you have a question for Goldfinger.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Hi, good evening to both of you.
Yeah, good evening. Hi, Susan.
I've been listening to Jeffrey quite recently, and I've been following his analysis, and I really have a question more to do with the commodity itself rather than the career. So I had actually bought gold at 161, which was $1,361 per ounce, and since then obviously it's been thrashed, and there's been an absolute carnage in the gold market. So I'm wondering how long do I have to wait before I recover, because obviously my capital has gone down, drastically since I bought it in September.
Well, the question I would ask you, in terms of your net wealth,
Yes.
what kind of percentage did you put into gold? Because the one thing I always say, gold is really a bit of a kind of insurance. You're insuring your wealth. And so you don't view gold as really as an investment vehicle as such, but rather as an item in your portfolio of wealth that will really do well when everything else goes badly. And so so if you've actually, it's between anything 5 to 10%, that's fine. Anything more than that, I'm afraid that's kind of speculative, and you might get it right and you might get it wrong. I think if you stay with gold over time, you will make money. It's a bit like buying property, really. You can go in the cycle and you just kind of pick the wrong time. But if you're a long-term investor, you will do well, because over time gold would definitely appreciate in value. It is the...
How long would you think it will take? Because
We're going down, I think, here, right? I mean, for the next 12 months, you're getting slaughtered.
Well, I don't know about slaughtered.
She's going to take a hit here, isn't she?
She is. Yeah,
She's
I
going to
do
feel
think,
the pain.
I think prices are going lower. I do. But as I say, it really does depend on how much you're into the trade already. It should never be more than 10% of your wealth. Okay, it never should be.
what about 40%?
No, it's too much.
Whoa.
I mean, if you do listen, Susan, if you do listen to me, I've been sort of doing the business breakfast for about 4 years or so now. I always say the same thing. No more than 10% of your wealth. So there is a decent chance for next year of seeing gold higher. A lot of people are talking 1,100 or lower. Other people
Yeah.
are talking 1,400, 1,500 or higher. So you
Yeah.
do have a bit of a chance. But if you get a chance, if you do get the opportunity to lighten the load back to 10%, if we get above 1350, 1360, back to your break-even point, you should take that and pare your investment back to 10%.
The problem is I've already, I have to pay the bank over, about 10 grand, for the interest and everything else. I haven't taken it on loan. I've taken it from my own savings. But the problem is that to get back to that, it has to be around 1,400 for me to come out of it without any profit. So do you see any likelihood of that within next year? Or
Yeah, no, there is. Look, there is a chance, definitely. If I felt that there was absolutely no chance, I'd honestly tell you, I would say you got an even chance of actually getting out of 1,400. It would not surprise me at all. Sentiment in gold is a funny thing. Like, gold is a very weird kind of asset class in that it's completely illogical. I've done fairly well and sort of spent 35 careers in gold, but I'd say I'm a fairly illogical person myself. So it kind of fits with me. And look, it all depends on interest rates, frankly. We've lived in a world of last 4 or 5 years of negative real interest rates around the world. And so gold, it does have a slight interest rate, but not much. Gold in that kind of environment does well. I think if you do see currencies moving back into positive territory in terms of real interest rates, you have a problem.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Susan. I hope that helped you out, and we wish you best of luck.
Okay, thank you very much.
Good luck,
Bye,
Susan.
man. Good luck.
Keep the faith.
Well, it sounds like that may just leave a mark. She's a little ambitious with the gold. She's 400% over your recommended level.
Yeah, no, look, it's just really it's an insurance policy, and when you think the world's in a dangerous place, you do go to 10%. When it's nice and smooth and everything's looking good, 5%'s the number.
Well, I think this is where we are now in the markets because, what you've really seen is, you have the aviation now. We have the world's largest airport opening up. We already have I think it's the fourth busiest airport in the world. Aviation's over 30% of our GDP now. We are one of the leaders for events and trade shows, so you have all that coming in. We have the highest hospitality utilization rate in terms of our rooms. And then you have one of our neighbors who the sanctions will be coming off, and that will open up a huge trade story. We have the African trade story coming in for the re-export markets into through Dubai. You have also the volatility from the Arab, I don't know if we can still call it the Arab Spring, just driving and funneling investment dollars into Dubai as we pick up entrepreneurs from all the various countries that have been affected. I mean, I don't think things could be more positive, except for the fact that now we're seeing inflation. So, you're going to be making more money. The money's just going. It comes in and it goes out, right?
Yeah, well, it does. It does. I mean, one number you failed to mention there, Shane, is that Dubai is actually the world's the number one gold redistribution centers in the world.
Whoa, number one in the world.
Number one in the world in terms of redistribution. I think the size of trade last year was $70 billion. Came
$70 billion?
Through this emirate. Gold came in and went out, $70 billion. And
$70 billion.
But that's not enough. I mean, look, His Royal Highness Sheikh Mohammed, when he first announced the launch of the MCC back in 2002, the target is to see 50% of the world's gold flow through Dubai. And I've always said that was not an unrealistic target. It was blue sky aspiration somewhat, but I think there's every chance over the next 4 or 5 years of getting to that number.